What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the joiners, shout out to Point of View crew, and today is a viewer's choice. My favorite video to make, man. I love these, and you guys did not disappoint. You never do. Let's dig right into it, man. No time to waste. Paul G. Now, Paul G's comment had 5 likes attached to it. Remember I said that I look at that and these viewer choice and look not only at your suggestion, but how many likes. Do other people like your suggestion? Paul got 5. Of course, I'm going to use it. But then Paul also left 5 comments though. What? 5 suggestions. So which one do they like? I think I know which one they like, Paul G. But I'm going to go ahead and run through all 5 of your suggestions because they were so good. I'm going to start off like this. I like how he said explain the shutdown. Explain the shutdown, he said. As far as shutting the tier down in the hole. Because when you're in the hole, at nighttime they close the tier. And when they do that, you cannot use it for fishing. You cannot talk. You cannot even work out loudly in your cell. When the TV's on, you got to plug the headphones in. I mean, no eating chips loudly even. Just nothing. Shut the tier down. And you cannot use it till they open in the morning. Now the shutdown's pretty cool. When they shut the tier down, it goes like this. The Southsiders go first. Then when it's the Woods' turn, the dude has the keys, will say, "Excuse me on the tier. Splinter." "Yes, sir." "Good night." "Good night to you and the rest of the white men on the tier. Thank you." "Thank you." "Excuse me on the tier. Hot Rod." "Yes, sir." "Good night." "Good night to you. Good night to the rest of the white men on the tier. Thank you." "Thank you." But the morning's a little different. I'm a heavy sleeper. I stay up too late. So in the morning, sometimes I wake up to my wall being hit. I get up so quiet. I'm like, "Good morning?" And I hear the key holder say, "Good morning." And I go, "Good morning?" "Thank you. Thank you." "Sitting on the tier. Hot Rod." "Yes, sir." "Good morning." And I'm like, oh man, I messed it up. I messed it up, the roll call. Snarf, snarf. Hey, bro. They don't appreciate that at all. It's a bad look. So I'm sitting there waiting. Sure enough, a couple hours later, excuse me on the tier. "Splinter." "Yes, sir." "Shoot your line." I shoot my line out. He fishes it in. I pull back a kite. It's saying, "What was that this morning?" Fully disrespected the roll call. I had to write back and say, no, disrespect is intentional. You cannot accidentally disrespect somebody. So no, it was not disrespect. He said, "Call it what you want, as long as you sound off and you're done 123 burpees for the house." Of course, I wasn't feeling it, so it was one of those days I was like, 1, 2, 3. Be that as it may. Hey, bro, and he also said, you ever see a first termer at 40 years old? Paul G, yes, I have. When a dude goes into prison for the first time at 40, bro, they're lost more often than not. Because it's when you're young that you want to make a name for yourself, and you don't care about consequence. You just go in there and kick up dust. But a 40-year-old comes in and they're like, they don't really know what's cracking. And also, trip on this, when I see a 40-year-old go to prison for the first time, I trip on it because how come you haven't been to prison yet? Bro, I used to see dudes out there hitting it harder than me even. I'm in and out, in and out, in and out, can't get away with nothing. These other dudes just like me, kicking up all kinds of dust, driving around with no license, no tags in the car, guns, drugs, doing all kinds of stuff and never getting busted. My old lady's dad, my ex-old lady's dad had tattoos all over his face, and he'd be kicking up all kinds of dust, hitting it hard, and he would never go to jail. And it's like, bro, I mean, after a while, you just have to check in. You just have to look at it like, man, I've been out too long. It's looking kind of sus. I need to go ahead and just check in. You need to just go steal something, get caught, and just put those handcuffs on, and just go check in with the fellas. Been out too damn long. That's how I look at it anyway. And he also said, Paul G said, can a Wood go in to prison and not get involved in the politics? Just go and do your time. Yes, you can. A Wood can catch his term, go in there, as long as you, hey, when a riot kicks off, participate in that riot. If they're collecting a kitty, you kick into that kitty if you're going to store. If they're having a white meeting, you go to that white meeting. You work out every day, you say good morning to your homeboys, you stay kind of plugged in, but you can feed everybody with a long spoon. You kind of do it at a distance. You don't have to get caught up in stirring the pot and who did what and what's going to happen to them now. Just a few mandatory things. Riot, meetings, workout, and you can find out your little what you can do, what you can't do. But yeah, you don't have to get full blast into the politics. Hey, but you might want to. It's fun. Alrighty, man. So, and also I want to say this too, though. If you see my video where I got jumped over a bad call, the dude who came in and smutted me up was a 40-year-old first-termer. Came in not knowing how the hell to act. He smutted me up, POS. Alright, man. So, hey, the Dope Sick Show. Have you guys checked out his channel? The Dope Sick Show? Bro's got a good channel. You guys should check him out. He said surprising things you could buy in prison. My first term, it was so cool how they had it set up. They had this lady, and this lady had a list. And what you do is you write down anything you want on that list, no matter what it is, and she's going to go out in town and buy it. One day a month, that lady goes into the town of Bakersfield with her list, and she'll buy everything that she sees. Creatine, weight gainer, Levi's, CD player, CDs, headphones. She'll go buy anything for you. It's really, really cool, man. And it's rare. That's the only time I've ever seen it where you had someone on staff at the prison willing to go out into the streets, the kayas, and just buy anything you need. Because stuff's not available in a canteen and all that. This dude named Indio, he was a bulldog. He had some Levi's, badass Levi's. I wanted them because I was getting ready to parole. And if you don't have parole clothes, the state will provide. And they were providing these funky, tan, fake-looking dickies. They're just ugly. No way I wanted to parole wearing those things. And I called my mom and said, hey, Mom, can I get some dress-out clothes? She's like, no, you're in McFarland. You're in Kern County because Bakersfield, McFarland, you're close. I was like, she's like, you're in town. You're home. I was like, what? I was like, so if I was doing time way up north, Susanville, she goes, I would send you dress outs. I was like, but since I'm right here in Kern County, McFarland, no, I won't send you dress outs. Oh, okay. Nice logic. You guys see where I get my logic from? Be that as it may, I was on my own, provide my own dress outs. Indio made the mistake of sitting down with me at the pinochle table, and he gambled with me. I can't remember what I put up, but I ended up getting those Levi's. I won them in a pinochle game. And that was my flex. I loved it, bro. And then the homeboy, and then Indio was making fun of me, like, a little bit too long on you, Splinter. Nah, don't even trip on that, because the homeboy Rick's gear with a needle. He hemmed them up. He sewed them. I prolled in them. You know what happened, though? I ripped off a bunch of batteries out of these cars. And I got, like, battery juice on them. And they made a couple, like, some holes. Sparred up the holes. Got me so mad I couldn't wear them. But hey, how about nowadays, though? The pants you buy, $100 pair of pants. And they got little holes. Look like some battery-ass holes. You know what I mean? Anyways, so yeah, there's that. So that's what you can buy. Some Levi's. I won them in a pinochle game. Paroled in them. Awesome sauce. John and Lori Mayberry, how do you learn about prison politics? Very good question. Your homeboys will teach you. Because before you go to the pen, you're going to be in county jail fighting your case. You're going to spend some time there. And when the homeboys know you're going to go to prison, especially for the first time, they're going to want you to go up there and represent Bakersfield to the fullest. So they're going to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. In Bakersfield, Kern County Jail, is, especially the farm back in the day, was ran like a level 3 or 4 prison. All bullshit aside. So you're going to pick up on the politics real quick. But I remember one of the homeboys told me, hey, Splinter, after dinner, let's spend a couple hours chopping it up. I want to put you up on game. I'm going to run some stuff past you, things you're going to need to know for prison. I was like, cool. I was like real excited. I couldn't wait to kick back with the homeboy. What's he going to tell me? What does he have for me? This important news that me being a wood from Bakersfield, I got to hear. Okay, cool. After dinner, I meet up with him. Like, what's up, homeboy? Roll a cigarette. I sit down. Okay, what's up? Listen, he said, when you go to store, the first thing you always do is buy toothpaste. Because you can always go say, hey, homeboy, can I borrow a suit? You can always say, hey, dog, let me get a shot of coffee. But you can't walk around with your toothbrush like, hey, let me get a dab of that toothpaste right there. Not a good look, don't do it. Sometimes they have kitties, we'll get to that. Sometimes they don't. So he said, dude, when you go to the store, buy your hygiene first. Get that out of the way. I'm like, okay, cool. And patted me on the shoulder, gave me handshakes, and you're good, Wood. Catch you on the flip-flop. That's it. That's my big rundown on prison politics. And that was it. But hey, you pick it up and you learn the hard way. I had to learn some lessons the hard way, man. No fun. SCW, any story on dirty lawyers? He's like any lawyers that got busted and did something foul and went in. That's what he's getting at. But when I hear the comment, the suggestion, dirty lawyer, one thing comes to my mind. And you guys have probably heard the story before. Hey, and I apologize. But anytime I hear the words dirty lawyer, one thing comes to my mind and I have to speak on it because it's so dang shocking. I'm in court. When you go to court, they take all the inmates and they put them on like, it looks like, it's a big bench. It's kind of like a church pew. It's made of wood. And there's about eight people. And you're nuts to butts. You're like all crowded in there. There's about 8 people on this long bench. Well, I'm in court. And you get there, the judge, you're waiting for the judge to take a seat. Before that happens, you got lawyers walking around, going over their clients, explaining whatever kind of deals, what they're offering, what you can get. So we're all waiting for lawyers to come talk to us. We're kind of just sitting there. This dude's on the very end. His lawyer comes up to him and goes like this. This dude's on the end. Puts his foot up on the thing right here. And he's like, yeah, so I talked to the judge, and And you're looking at 6 months because you got that prior. And dude, it's like, oh, did you call my mom to see if she get the car in impound? I mean, bro, his junk was just right there. I couldn't believe it. And my lawyer was trying to talk to me, and I was just not even hearing. I was like staring at what was going on. And then pretty soon my lawyer like was talking, and like their sentences fell off. And I looked, and my lawyer was even staring. Wow, everyone was, bro. Cause come on now. Hell to the no. I would headbutt him so hard. So yeah, that's the only thing I know about some foul lawyer. Bro, trying to get it together. That's a great name. His name is Trying to Get Together. That's what we're all trying to do. That's what I've been trying to do this entire video. I'm trying to get together. He had 5 questions. And the way it's set up, I'm going to do these like rapid fire. How this is set up. Watch, chip on this. So he said, favorite weapon to make. Tomahawk. Love making tomahawks. You go into county jail. It's one of the first things you do. I like to get real creative with it. Put multiple razor blades. Also like to put a cap on it. Fashion a cap. Tomahawks. I'm not real good at making filetos. Knives. It's real hard to get them sharp. Plus the weapon stock you have sometimes is just kind of like, yeah, I'm not too great at those. Love the tomahawks though. Ever had psychedelics in prison? Never that. Bro, could you imagine? I'd end up in a major wreck. You take that stuff in there. Oh, dude, I don't think the two go together. No way. I do not think psychedelics and a prison yard would go together one bit. And no, never that. I could barely handle that stuff on the streets. Gangs didn't last long. Wolfpack. Best interaction with another race. Okay, chip on this, man. Here's my best interaction with another race. When I'm at CMC West, there's this dude named Listo. He was getting conjugal visits. They give family visits. If you're married, every 90 days, your wife could come hang out with you. They call it the Jack Shack. For 3 days, and a family visit. It's inside the prison, but it's off to the side. It's a little cottage. They have a kitchen, bedroom, TV, all that. For 3 days, a family visit, a conjugal visit. Your wife would come, but this dude, Listo, his mom was coming. I mean, I thought it was a little bit trippy. I don't know if anyone else did or not, but like his mom would come hang out with him for 3 days in Jack Shack. I'm not implying nothing weird other than the fact that, kind of trippy. And she would bring him money. $100 bills. And how'd she bring it? How'd she sneak it in? See what I mean though? So yeah. Anyways, be that as it may, she would bring Lisa these $100 bills. I would buy 3 $100 bills off him for $500 mail out. I'd send $500 to a P.O. box. I'd get those 3 $100 bills. I would take one of those $100 bills to Snake, this black dude from Sacramento, and get a fat deal. He would give me 13 caps of weed, individually packaged, 13 things, and I'd open the package up and dump it out, and it'd be a big old fresh nugget. I get like 3, sometimes 4 joints out of each individual cap, and it was just so fresh and nice. It smelled good, and it's funny because I'd say, "Hey, what's up, Snake? I got another $100 bill." And, all right, and he'd act like he had to get it at school because they do school. All the yards meet at school, so he's like, "Yeah, I got to get it from someone in a different yard." But I knew damn well he had it in the dorm. Come on, it's not like I don't see you over there digging in your boot and it's under the bed and that laundry bag, and you're looking around. You got someone keep on point. I know you have it. You can run that drag like you're getting it from someone at school. I don't care. That means nothing to me. Don't care where you're getting it from. But Snake used to hook me up fat. I love when I had a $100 bill. And even when he was selling it, it was all personal. Him and his homeboys. They were not selling, but they could not turn down a $100 bill. He would hook it up fat. All right then. So moving right along. Frisco Strangler. Baddest Wood from Bakers. Baddest Wood from Bakersfield, Lonnie LaRue. Called him Moose. He had some kind, I don't know if it's a syndrome, a deficiency, whatever it is, he could not feel pain. You could walk up, hit him in the head with a bat, he's not going to feel the pain because he has some kind of whatever it was. I mean, they called him Moose for Pete's sake. He's big. He had the keys to the NLR for Bakersfield. But what happened was, someone had to get whacked. Someone got a green light on him. No, they didn't have to get whacked. They had to get tips put on him. This dude was acting out of line. He just needed to get jumped. He just needed to get roughed up a little bit. Lonnie LaRue, Moose, is the one who went and picked this dude up. Put him in his car, say, "I gotta take you to the park to get regulated. Don't worry, I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you. They're just gonna put hands on you." They were friends. He drove him there to the park. They tried to jump the dude, put hands on him, but he was too sweet with his fist. So he ended up knocking everybody out, beating everybody down. They got frustrated, poked him, he lost his life. Lonnie LaRue, Moose felt bad about it because he's the one that drove him there. He said it'd be cool, just take him there to get regulated. Lonnie LaRue ended up taking the stand and testifying. And so a bunch of dudes got 88 years, a bunch of dudes got time. Lonnie LaRue got no time, and he moved to the Midwest, Missouri, out there. But every once in a while, you hear from the homeboys, "Hey, Moose is back. Lonnie LaRue came through to Bakersfield. He has family here. They'll see him at a store. I seen Lonnie LaRue yesterday at some store." But no one's ever going to push up on that fool. Hell no, he might have did what he did, but he's still a straight out killer. You know what I'm saying? That's the toughest dude I ever met. DM94JAK. Me and Green Eye Gemini, Jen, we got this game we like playing. We're texting. We'll give, like WYD, what you doing. So we'll come up with some random initials and we'll go back and forth like that. It's a fun little game we play. This reminds me of it. DM94JAK said, a good understandable reason you've seen someone roll it up. There's never a good reason to roll it up. Never. I've never seen a good reason to roll it up. I've never seen that. But I've seen a good reason for a PC move. Here's a PC move. If they're escorting you, see like you're leaving the hole, and then you go back out to the yard, or you're going from R&R to your building, you're going to be under escort. They don't just say, hey, okay, you got to go over to this building, and you just walk yourself. No, under escort. And while you're being escorted to a building, if you take off on somebody in front of a cop, someone comes walking by, you take off on them because you know the cop's going to grab you and take you back to R&R or reassign you. It's a PC move. You're taking off on somebody under escort so that you don't have to go to that yard. You don't have to go to that building. At Chuckawalla, the Woods wanted to rush the blacks. They were so outnumbered, they knew they didn't really have a chance. What they had to do is they had to do a cheap shot. They waited for all the blacks, the Muslims, to be praying. They were during their prayer time in the morning, and they rushed them. Boom, got that ass, of course, because they blindsided them. All the Woods went to the hole. The Muslims were pissed off about it. They had a green light on any Wood who did that when they came back to the yard. It wasn't squashed. And the Woods, Chuck Wallace sent the Woods in the hole a kite saying, look it, the green light's going to, the black's going to get your ass when you come back to the yard, and we can't have your back. There's not enough of us here. They came and got most of the Woods. Just accept the fact, digest the fact. When you come back, you're going to get got. They're going to get your ass, man. Heads up. So a lot of the Woods coming back would take off, do a PC move, take off on someone under escort. So they would have to go to the yard and get straight murked. I don't know. You tell me. Is that a good reason? Or should they just went out there and just got all their teeth busted out? You tell me. Indio, tell us what would happen to an animal abuser with ABGP. You know how I feel about animals. I love them. I'm the dog whisperer. I told you guys the other day about a story that some dude was kicking his dog over here, and I pulled up on him, and he had a stick. I took his stick from him and hit him with it. Bro, don't kick a dog in front of me. Hell no, never that, bro. But if you abuse a dog, you'll be GP. But if you torture a dog, if you're one of those sickos that like torture it and want to record it, nah, you will not be GP. I seen a dude get his third strike for shooting a dog, a Southsider. I was in the hole with him in New Delano, who's my neighbor. He got third strike, got struck out. He got 25 to life for shooting a dog. It probably wasn't shooting the dog. It's probably just having a gun in general, but he got life for it. And I used to have to give him a lot of encouragement and build him out because he was in a state of depression. He would ask me every night through the vent. We would talk. Hey, Splinter, think I'm going to get out, brother? He's like, I want to get out, man. All I did was shoot a dog. They didn't let me out. And I said, yes, dude, they're going to let you out. They're letting all these lifers, these 3 strikers, you got action, homeboy. You're going to get out, brother. Oh, thank you, Splinter. And we talked. He felt bad. He really had remorse over that, but he wanted out. That's life for shooting a dog, a little bit excessive. But yeah, hey, homeboy, you'll be GP as long as you don't torture him. All right, so Eric Kink. Eric Kink is question kind of like goes on with his name. Because have you ever heard about dudes doing gay shit in there? What would happen? If some dudes in the California prison system did some gay shit with each other, they'd be targeted for violence. They'd be targeted for elimination. It's not tolerated. It's not stood for. You cannot do it. Trip on this though. When I was in Arizona, my cellie Richie Rich worked in the kitchen. Our floor cop did not bring lunch. He ate out of the kitchen. So Richie Rich, what his job was, he would make all the meals and he'd bring a big old brown cart to our dorm so that the cops are to our, not a dorm because it's cell living, to our area, whatever. So the cop could feed the people who were locked in their cell on lockdown or whatever. Because you always have like 3 or 4 people that can't come out of their cell. They're on cell feeding. So Richie Rich would bring those trays. The cop would pass them out. And he'd also hook a big old fat tray up for the cop. No vegetables, no junk stuff, like 3 or 4 hamburgers, cake. He'd hook that cop up every night with a fat dinner tray. So Richie Rich and that cop were kind of cool. Well, one night they could bring these 2 dudes. These Southsiders lived up top tier in the corner. And they got these big heads, tattoos everywhere, buff. They hardly never talk. These dudes straight up seem like, freaking say, loco, homeboy. These dudes seem like they're all the way with the business, man. That was my impression of them. But I guess that cop, he came rolling up on them when they were doing the tu can chew. You know how you say 69 in Chinese? Tu can chew. They were 69, bro. And the cop said they had a blanket laid out with some pillows. They had made like a candle. And the ambiance was real romantic. And the cop said, what the? Cracked the door, handcuffed him, and took him out. Took him out, handcuffed him. Why? Because for one, it's against the rules. And for 2, for their protection. Because had it gotten out, bro, they would have been for sure. And if you don't know what that is, that's this. That's, you know, all that. They would have got caught, bro. Man. So that's what would happen. And everyone was wondering, what happened to those dudes? How come they got took out in handcuffs? No one knew why. But the cop told my silly Richie Rich, because Richie Rich gave him those fat dinner trays, what he saw. He said, bro, you're not going to believe what happened when I went up there and saw this. But he threw it. He said, hey, don't tell nobody. Of course, Richie Rich told everybody, why not? You ever been in a situation like that? Someone's like, I'll tell you this, but don't tell nobody. Aha, be that as it may. So, Everett Snowson, is there a community canteen to take care of people with no money? There's a kitty. Not canteen, but more often than not, there's going to be like a bag of hygiene. That way you have no excuse to not wash your ass and brush your teeth and keep clean. You can't say it's because I don't have no hygiene, because there's going to be a kitty bag and you get all you want. I've seen people just beat down for stealing from the kitty. They'll take all the shampoo and put water in the shampoo bottle. People do foul stuff. Take the soap and they try to leave with it. I myself have a story. One of my first story on this channel where I sliced my celly over the kitty. And then he told the cops that he sliced himself. That he got I talked him into it. He sliced himself over a bad letter. And he was suicidal. So the cops took him out. I'm thinking, cool beans. 3 or 4 hours later, the sergeant comes and tells me, we took him to the doctor, and the doctor said that the angle and the positioning of that cut, he could not have done it to himself. And I was like, well, who did it then? Oh my gosh, who did that to him? Am I in danger? Do we have some random slicer walking around? Who did that? The cop's like, don't be funny, he says. And I was waiting for some kind of write-up or nothing, but that never came. But if you want to hear that story again, I think I took it down. I'm not sure. We'll run with it. Let me know. So yeah, there's a kitty. There's always a kitty for the people who don't have hygiene. Long Vision says, out-of-state Wood doesn't understand California prison politics. You know what's crazy about out-of-state Woods? You got some dude from Tennessee shows up. What's his name? Tennessee. Got some dude from Alabama comes through. What are we going to call him? Alabama. How about a guy from Texas? What's up, Tex? So all these dudes come from out of state. They're called their name. We get a dude, Tennessee, in pretrial. He had to get beat down, and he got beat down, and I kind of felt bad about it a little bit because he didn't really understand where he was wrong at. Even when they tried to tell him, he wasn't picking up or putting down. Because he's sitting at the breakfast table. Might have been most dinner table, actually, because he got a cake. And a black dude that was sitting at his table gave him his cake. And so he got the black dude's cake. And we had to beat him down. I said, dude, what'd you do that for? And he said, but he didn't eat off of it. There was no bites out of it. He's like saying, I can understand, like, if he took a couple bites and gave it to me. But no, it was a cake had no bites out of it. It was, no bites out of it, Tennessee, but he grabbed it with his hand and put it on your plate. I mean, that's the big no-no. I mean, all of it's a big no-no. Hello? Ask somebody. He got beat down, and I don't think he ever really quite got it. But yeah, I had another dude in Alabama, someone come through, just could not understand the Woods, how we got along, our what's the word I'm looking for? Did not understand our, I don't want to say the word unity, did not understand with the Southsiders. What in the freaking word is it? You've been watching this long, so you know that I always forget my words. The connection, I don't know. He did not understand why we got along so good with the Southsiders. We'd work out with them, throw spreads with them, kick it tough with them. He didn't get it. Even though we tried to tell him, dude, those are our allies. There's the word. Hey now. Those are our allies, bro. He could not accept that or digest that fact. He didn't get it. Sometimes NorCal Woods, though, because they have North Daniels in their county jails, their receptions. They don't kick it real tough with Southsiders, and they get in a pin. Some of these NorCal Woods don't really understand why we kick it so tough with the Southsiders. Makes perfect sense to me. They're in my county jail. Got a lot of homeboys. Shout out to you, Ghost. South Bakersfield, one of my best friends. We both got a spider text on the side of our head. Know what I mean? If you know, you know. So yeah, that's what's up with that. Love these community tabs. Another video soon. Probably mañana. Like I said, shout out to the Point of View crew. Now, the most love respect. I appreciate you guys for joining. I got the P.O. Box, man. If you want to chop it up with me, we can, I want to say collaborate. No, we can correspond. We also can collaborate. And I don't know why I'm doing this. We can do anything you want. Holler. Get at me. Cut string, let it fly. Peace.